Hello, and welcome back to another 5-minute book review that I don't know if we'll get it done within 5 minutes or not. Probably not. And I think at this point, if I did, y'all would be disappointed. Hang on. I gotta move over a little bit because sun, the evil sun. Huh. Sorry. Easily distracted. So, oh God. Yeah, my chair's really loud. WD-40ing the chairs on the list, okay? It's just not very high on the list because I only kind of care. But if enough people whine about it in comments, I suppose I'll get off my giant ass and WD-40 the chair. Anyway, this week's 5-minute book review is another Charlaine Harris book because I really liked Dead Until Dark, but as I was finishing it up, I thought, man, I like this book, but having watched all of True Blood, the TV series that was based on the Sookie Stackhouse books, and knowing that the overall story end of the series is similar to the overall end of the book series, I was like, I don't know if I want to go any further, but I really like her writing. And then I thought, well, what about Midnight Texas? And I was like, well, I kind of watched the show, but I kind of lost interest too. So I found another series of hers called the Gunny Rose series. And the first book in that is Easy Death. Then I opened it up and I looked at it and I was like, holy shitballs. Now we're in for something because it's a weird Western. It's kind of an apocalyptic alt history weird Western that has a lot of the same feel as Rebecca Roanhorse's series that started with, I'm gonna screw this up. I'm just going to look it up because otherwise I will absolutely screw this up and be embarrassed. Rebecca, Trail of Lightning. Yeah, I was going to get that wrong. I was going to get the word lightning was going to be in there. Rebecca Roanhorse's series that starts with Trail of Lightning, which is set in that one is set in a post-apocalyptic Western world that has magic, and it's very much a First Nation centric novel because Rebecca Roanhorse is Native herself and that's her culture. Well, Charlaine Harris, about as white as I am, so she's going to approach a weird Western from the white people perspective, which is what she knows. But this one seems like it diverges from our reality somewhere in the 20s or 30s. There are cars, but they're not great, and it seems like that we don't know what the big event was that caused everything to go to crap, but the United States is fractured. There is still legal slavery in the parts of the United States that used to be the American South. Then there's Texahoma, which is, here's a stunner, Texas and Oklahoma. That's where this book is set. It's on the Texahoma-Mexico border. And then in California is the Holy Roman Empire, where people fleeing, where Tsar Nicholas's children fled after, I think that's the Bolshevik Revolution. My European history is really awful, so I could get that wrong. But the last Russian Tsar fled Russia with his children to California and expanded out and took over a big chunk of California and the West Coast and created a new Holy Roman Empire. So, and there are other sections of the country, but they're not really relevant to the story in this book. So you've got this alt history, post apocalyptic wasteland, weird Western with magic. And the protagonist, Lisbeth Rose, is a gunny, which is basically she's a gun for hire. She's a bodyguard for hire. And people hire gunnies to get them from place to place safely because it's the frickin' apocalypse, y'all. It's not safe out there. So you've got, and it opens up with a deal with an event where all of Lisbeth's crew is killed and she's the only survivor. And then she comes back to town. She has no crew. She has no prospects. And then she has no choice but to take a job with Grigori, or wizards from the Holy Roman Empire who are looking for someone in Texahoma and Mexico. And the last thing she wants is to be associated in any way with Grigori because of events that we'll learn later in the book. Really well done. The world building is really good. I'm not a student of history, so it is entirely possible that she got nothing right historically, but it felt right. So it was right enough for fiction. And I am a sucker for a Western. I'm a sucker for a weird Western, a sci-fi Western, a Western. If given a choice, that's what I watch on television. You know, Tombstone is one of my top movies of all time. I'm playing one of my favorite video game is Borderlands 2 right now, which has a very Western flavor to it. I'm playing the pre-sequel. I'm playing as Lisha, the gunslinger chick. She's awesome. So the book checked a lot of boxes for me already. And then Harris is a hell of a writer. The thing I really liked about this book, which is hard to find, is that the tone was spectacularly different from Dead Until Dark. The Sookie Stackhouse books are light. They have a very conversational narrative voice. You do feel, and Easy Death is like that as well. It's first person narrative, so you're inside Lisbeth's head, and there's dialect, and it's a very relaxed narrative and character voice. But the tone, much darker, the pacing significantly slower, not slow by any stretch, because I'm too ADD to read a book that's paced very slowly, and the sun's just killing me. I'm sorry. I need an ND filter or a flag over here, but I don't have one, so I don't work in that world anymore where I can just put up a C-stand with an ND filter, that probably needs a full, yeah, that probably needs a full scrim, at least. Silk wouldn't hurt either, make the wrinkles in my forehead look not as, make me look less like Abdullah the Butcher's forehead. What the hell's going on there? Anyway, you don't care about my forehead. Those are my problems. So the voice and tone is very different. I likened it a lot to going from Jim Butcher's Dresden Files to his Codex Alera series. A good test of a writer is whether or not they can write in multiple voices, multiple styles. And Harris pulls this off beautifully. I will absolutely get the second book in this series at some point. I very much enjoyed Easy Death, and I want to see what happens next. It does feel like this could have been a one and done. I don't know anything about the publishing side of how this book was bought, but it is so divergent from the things that she has had great success with, and Weird Western is a more niche genre. It wouldn't surprise me if it was bought as one book or two books, not necessarily as a series, because this story ends. It will be an episodic ongoing series rather than a serialized ongoing series, similar to your early Dresden Files, your early Anita Blake, your early Quincy Harker books, the stuff that we write when we don't know if anybody's going to buy it, so we better finish the story. It's not like a Game of Thrones, a King Killer Chronicles, a more epic fantasy style book where you know going in that there's going to be a series. So, because I'm a sucker for a Weird Western, I want to talk about 3 different variations on Westerns that we've published at Falstaff Books. And I'll be right back because I'm pretty sure I've got one of them in paper over here. Don't look at me bum. You can't see me bum. Because there's not much to see. Oh, where is it? Was I wrong? Oh, well, we'll talk about this one too. There we go. All right. Sorry. Oh, wait. Didn't mean to bring that back. That just kind of hangs out on the shelf. So if you have read Easy Death and liked it, then I highly recommend you check out Cold Eye by Laura Ann Gilman. These are her Devil's West books, and they are exquisitely written. They are beautifully crafted, and these are Weird Westerns, and I just can't recommend them enough. If I remember right, this is book 2. Yeah, I think this is book 2. Because I don't remember why I have book 2 and not book 1. But The Devil's West by Laura Ann Gilman is a fantastic series. And Six Gun Tarot by Rod Belcher. Six Gun Tarot is, to my mind, one of the best Weird Westerns to come out in a decade. It's the beginning of Rod's Golgotha series, which is a series of Weird Westerns that take place in a town called Golgotha. And it's got magic, and it's got gunfights, and it's got race relations, and it's got Cthulhu mythos, and angels and demons and every damn thing you can think of, all wrapped up in one little series. There are currently 3 books out. These are from Tor. There's Six Gun Tarot and 2 more that I can't remember the name of because I love these books, but I only kind of care if you buy the first 3 because I want you to buy the 4th book in the series called Ghost Dance Judgment, because that one will be coming out late spring, early summer from Falstaff Books. We have picked up that series from Tor, and we will be continuing the series. We've got 3 books contracted so far. So go get the first 3 because they're great books. And then you'll be primed and ready to go once book 4 hits later this year. Also, if you want your Weird Westerns with a little more galactic flair, check out Fistful of Dust by A.G. Carpenter. This is the first in her sci-fi Western series for us. It's a novella, it's a quick read, and especially if you like Easy Death, because this is very similar in tone. It's got that haunted protagonist, badass chick protagonist, and loved it. Now, for lighter fare, you should check out Company A by H.K. Devonshire as told to Peter Prowitz. The Company A is the first in the Martian Rangers novella series of space westerns, and it is pulpy, 50s style. If you liked Doc Savagey, the Phantom kind of pulp, shoot 'em up, where men are men and sheep are no, wait, that's different. If you love that kind of high octane, high adventure, quick read pulp book, then absolutely check out Company A. And I'll have links for all of these down in the show notes, which aren't, contrary to where I'm pointing, in my belly. Although there's for real about to be some Pop-Tarts in my belly, because look, I overslept a little, and then I had to gear up and go make a CVS run to pick up some prescriptions. So I haven't eaten yet, and I'm about to gnaw off the camera. So I'm going to go get something to eat. You guys go check out all the stuff I just recommended. Check out Easy Death, check out Fistful of Dust, check out Company A, check out Bombala Mine's Fast Draw, which is the second book in the Martian Rangers series. Check out Laura Ann Gilman's Devil's West series. Check out R.S. Belcher's Golgotha series. Get out there, read something awesome. Check out my Writing Life video on how to get ebooks for either super discounts or free, and do it legally, and don't pirate things. So that's all I got for you this week. I will be back next week with Nicholas Eames's Kings of the Wild, which I've been wanting to read ever since I first saw it, and it just came through on BookBub this week for $3. So I bought it. I'm deep into it. I'm loving it. And I hate Nicholas Eames a little bit right now because he's such a good writer. So I'll be back next week with Kings of the Wild. And until then, please take care of one another. Take care of yourselves.